Good evening. Guess who's back in the crib? Macka's back. Broken rib. That's why you weren't here last week. So if anybody ever has pneumonia and you think you're going to have a good big old cough to get the phlegm done, do not do it. It is not worth the agony that you're in, especially when you have to continue coughing. But we are back. We missed last week, but we are here this week and plenty to talk about and lots of stuff happening both in Liverpool and outside of Liverpool. Joined by Brian, Susie, and Cosy. Boys, how are we?
Good.
Yeah. We're a little bit cheerier. A little bit cheerier.
I feel like you now have a chance to play right back over Calvin Ramsey.
Seriously, yeah. I think my broken rib has a better chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More chance of playing Calvin Ellis than Calvin Ramsey.
Calvin Klein has a better chance. Let's go and have a look at what we're going to talk about tonight. We'll talk about the Sunderland game. We'll talk about Calvin Ramsey. The unfortunate injury to Endo, who I thought, like from what I saw of the 3 quarters of the game, that I got to watch before I had to go back to work, he did quite good, should be used more often. But that's a different conversation for not right now. The sack race, Thomas Frank and Sean Dyche being sacked pretty much 48 hours apart, to add to Enzo Maresca and Ruben Amram as well this season. It's been a mad one. Room 433. And who?
Postecoglou.
I'm Postecoglou, yeah, who did come out and say today apparently Spurs are not a big club, which I thought was fantastic.
I watched the podcast. Absolutely hilarious. It's hilarious how much he hates them.
Yes, he really does. We'll do Room 433, we'll bring it back, and then we will talk about our game against Brighton and your Hove Albions. Whatever they are, they sound like a chocolate-covered biscuit as far as I'm concerned. And then we will get going for our weekend. So let us talk about the game. 1-0 win. Scored from a corner-ish. There's four players from the game doing the worst recreation of the help cover by the Beatles. It was accredited to Van Dijk, wasn't it? I know the Sunderland player got ahead to it, but they might be behind the line when that happened. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, I felt from what I saw, it wasn't the most inspiring performance, but it was definitely a positive one. We certainly had a lot of the game, but yet again, still a little bit stilted around about the box. Maybe should have had more goals for the amount of attacks we had. But crucially, we kept a clean sheet against a really good team. They've been really good this year, Sunderland, and they haven't lost at home till yesterday. I always like it when Liverpool are breaking teams' records like that. If you remember that time when clubs under pressure would play Liverpool, we beat them and the manager got sacked the next day. Those were good days. But gentlemen, what do we think? What were our impressions of that game?
I thought we were great. I thought first half we were really good. Really, really good. Like our best performance away from home in a while. First half. Thought we were bang unlucky to walk in without a goal. Got something to show for it at least. But what I like the most about it, mate, is that everyone dug in. Everyone worked hard. It was cold. Listen, I thought about this fixture for a while because if you're top of the league and you're 10 points clear, and I said to you, you've got to go to Sunderland on a Wednesday night, pissing down rain in February, you're going to go, I don't fancy that. Right? So it doesn't matter if you're playing well or not. It's still going to be a tough fixture, isn't it? If you're playing well like 10 points, you're not going to go up there in those conditions and go, we're going to whack these 5-0, even if you're playing well. So that's full credit to the lads. I thought they were great. And then, we get the goal that we fully deserved. And then, again, it's just more, Mark, that I was more impressed with just the digging in. I thought Macka was great. Macka, I thought McAllister was best game for a while. Yeah. No, I thought Endo was brilliant. Yeah. I actually think he's brilliant for the goal because he's the one who stands next to the
Yeah. He does a great job there.
But he knows what he's doing. That's experience. He's 33, 34. He knows what he's doing on corners. He knows what he needs to do is block the keeper. So I thought he was great for the goal. It's gut-wrenching. Honestly, lads, I don't think I've had an injury affect me so much. And I'll tell you why, because I look at players like him and think, knocked around the German league. Of course, captain of your country is a big deal, but not really at that big chance at a big club. You get it later on in your career. You win the League Cup in your first season, dead on the pitch at Wembley with a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? I remember he's dead on the pitch. Everyone forgets that because he was unbelievable. You win the Premier League, unbelievable. What a way to tap off your career. There's no complaining, there's no moaning. You get your chance to come in, you're playing right back. You play brilliant, and then after the injury happens to you. It's just heartbreaking, and it's just like, well, how's your luck, basically, for him personally? Because that performance, whether the manager rates him or not, would have put him more of an option in our minds. I'm more pressure on the manager to pick him because that's how this works. So, but long way I thought Liverpool really good, and again, I do think Sunderland, as much as it's a great win and they are unbeaten at home, they struggled since they lost Xhaka. They've really missed Granit Xhaka so much since the injury. He's been huge for them. But listen, fella, Liverpool, when you see the results what happened on Tuesday, Chelsea dropping points and United dropping points, even Everton dropping points, who could have been above us, humongous win. Huge win. And if Liverpool finished in the top 5, you'd look back at that one, that's a big circle, and you go, that's where it changed.
Now Jamie, Jamie makes this point about the pitch being a state. The weather was it was genuinely the wet Wednesday at Stoke, but moved across the country to Sunderland. But those are the conditions, and we've all played in horrendous weather, I'm sure. And those are the conditions where you're either like, yes, I'm okay. Well, I mean, if you're from Ireland, you got to play in that rain anyway. But it's freezing cold, it's soaking wet. You're either going to grit your way through it, or you're just going to be sitting there shivering and hoping you get subbed off the field. And not a single player looked like they wanted to come off the field, which was great, because that's like, not to open. I don't want to open up the conversation to the whole like Arne Slot thing and where we stand on that. We can leave that for tonight. But that kind of performance with the same results throughout the season, we would all be quite happy, wouldn't we? Because we'd go, these are fighting, they're just not getting the look of the draw. We could make that kind of a story for it, but that's just what we want, isn't it? We want to see that first. We want to see them fighting for every ball. We want to see like we talk about the dark arts, and he's the quietest, most polite player probably on the pitch, and he's got the darkest of arts, that kid. I think I said before, he reminds me of Lucas Leiva a lot. Like, he knows how to do a little dirty thing or two to get the other team wound up. But Konate was great. Van Dijk was great. Alisson was great. Ekitike is great, except for the misses. He needs to maybe get a different haircut or something like that. But as Shanks once said, he's in the right place to miss them, and it'll all come flowing for him. Salah, I thought, was a lot better than he has been. Wirtz, I like that Wirtz is starting to impose himself on games now. Gravenberg was Gravenberg. He did a solid job. The disciplined job we want in that position. We just know it's not his mentality. That's not his real psychology. We really need somebody in there who just loves being the destroyer in the middle of the field. But we can't have many complaints, really, can we? It was, and especially with the blow of missing Szoboszlai, that was the kind of performance if we got that all season, nobody would be asking for Slot to be replaced, would they?
No, I mean, what I liked about it, one, it puts to bed all the players aren't playing for the manager crap, because you don't turn up to Sunderland on a wet Wednesday and put in the kind of performance that we saw yesterday. And that's just me, with my opinion, thinking that. That's not to say that nothing's gone on behind closed doors, and you've got the smoke with Curtis Jones and Slot, and obviously then you had Salah and Slot. But these players, if nothing else, are playing for the pride, and that's what you expect from these players. Yesterday's game was a James Milner Henderson type of game, where we needed the grit of a good, honest British player in that team, and we didn't have that, but still, it's so much has been said about foreign players not liking these types of games, but they all showed up. Well, most of them. I'm not going to mention one person that I have a pitchfork out for, but other than that,
there's a picture of him holding it for you. It's just
he can't
invisible.
even fucking celebrate properly. What kind of half-ass celebration is that?
Listen, lad, I didn't think he was that bad yesterday. First half, I thought he was really good. I thought he was good first half.
He was okay. It was just made worse by the people on Discord trying to make him out like his statistics was like. I'm not even going into that. But he can't even celebrate a goal properly. Anyway, going back to the rest of it, it's it's just piss poor luck with the right back position. It feels like Trent had cursed that position just before just after or before he left.
Maybe he got witchcraft lessons along with the Spanish ones when he was there for a year.
And you can make the case throughout the season. If you look, there's been a lot of things that have gone against us, and this season, it's going to sound like sour grapes, but it's a piss poor season. Arsenal, they're not even running away with it anymore. Like, hopefully, I'm praying that it's a bottle job, but this isn't the same Liverpool Man City that we had under Klopp and Guardiola when we were, winning 99 points. We would have blown Arsenal out of the park if those are the teams that turned up. So that league was there for us to take this season in terms of like reclaiming our title, but things just went against us after that with Palace loss, and we never recovered. But yeah, yesterday, hopefully it's not another false dawn. We've been there so many times. We win, we put in a good performance, win a game, and then next game we absolutely fuck it up. So yeah, let's see. But yeah, we're only 3 points away from top 4 now. And last week after losing the Man City game, just felt like the world had ended Premier League wise. So it's amazing what a few days can do.
Brian, in terms of that heart, grit, and determination, you earn your right to play good football. We all know, everybody on Discord knows my entire soapbox distaste for playing possession football for the sake of possession football. I like Keith Andrews at Brentford. I like a manager, and I said on Discord on the Tuesday night EPL panel show a couple of weeks ago, we said that it seems like the systems managers, it is what it is, I'm playing this way anyway. That's going. That they're starting to see really pragmatic, this is the team I have, so this is how I have to play. We're starting to see a little bit more of that. And that performance yesterday, it wasn't about the football, it was about the heart. And that's, for me, that's what you need to do, isn't it? You need to earn that right to play that possession football. If you can do that, then you'll win a hell of a lot more games than you're going to lose. But it seems to me an awful lot of the times this season we've been too concerned with playing the pretty football and not earning the right to do so. But that was the performance we wanted. That's almost like a standard to set, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think the one thing that was really good with this is that we beat the low block. And I think that Sunderland came in there. Sunderland were okay with coming there getting a point out of this match. And I think that they basically, toward the end part right there, they pretty much had about 10 players behind the ball at one point. And trying to hit us on the counter. And we came there and actually beat that. We actually played decent football. We were stretching them out in a lot of ways. There was some pretty good possession that we had in the second half that, was good. For me, I was glad I didn't see a damn beach ball. That's what I was just worried about right there. It's like I still carry that PTSD right there from Pepe Reina with the beach ball goal right there. And it's like, and I was happy to have to see them live through that moment again. But I think that, like you said, right there, you have to earn your right to go and play. And I think these players did. I know there's so much controversy surrounding the player that Sir Z was talking about right there. But like you said right there were some moments where he actually played fairly well. And I think that having Chiesa come in as toward the end of the match right there was actually a pretty good move, because it did go there and stretch it out right there, and he actually held the ball well. So, where Sunderland at points right there, we're on the ascendancy toward like about the 75th to 80th minute. I thought Sunderland was actually coming there going and actually moving through. And I think that Van Dijk's goal basically killed the match off for the most part right there. I think they were still doing it. But, it was overall, it was a gritty match right there. And it was a type of matches like Kazi says right there. That's the type of wins right there that cement you to go in the top 5, top 4 right there, because especially with everybody surrounding you, dropping points. So hopefully right there, this is a corner turn. I'm hoping that this right there will that we can build off of this. As far as, we still have a little bit of a hard track ahead of us right there. Especially in April. April's going to be pretty brutal.
May's disgusting, but no, yeah. I thought Sunderland were poor. I thought because I'm quite a big fan of the manager. I quite like him, and I like that he plays different styles. I think
and that his name is Roger the Circumcision.
yeah. I just feel like, though, lads, for me, I felt like he could have smelled blood a bit more in the air. The first 15 and went, I'm going to go right at this first 20. You know what I mean? And then if they throw one on the net, because Liverpool like to throw one on their own net, do you know what I mean? We can kind of. So what's disappointing with something but Liverpool? Again, they're unbeaten at home. It's full credit to Liverpool, really. Again, 4 first half, fully deserved. And, you know, the individual performances of Verts is outstanding. He's outstanding. He's just all over the way. The one that gets me, I thought Salah, right? And I know he gets some stick lately. Then I actually thought back to the games in the last few games. So Karabag, he scores. I think he gets a couple of assists in the Karabag game as well.
Yeah. The
Newcastle game, I think he gets. I know he definitely gets 1. He might get 2 assists. The City game, he should get an assist because Ekatike should score. It's an unbelievable pass.
Yeah.
And then he's crossed the ball in for Van Dijk there. So as much as you're not seeing the Salah of old, in terms, he's still contributing when we're trying to score goals, and he's still involved in the final phase of play. Do you know what I mean? Which is important, I think. Of course, to get Mo back into some kind of form, of course, it's going to be important for Liverpool. But when you see people going, oh, he's not the same Mo. Mo Salah's always been like this kind of player. He'll be in and out of games that he'll score too. So because that's what he does. Do you know what I mean? We've seen him boys have some first half when you look and go, my God, like this is ridiculous. And then before you know it, he's put the ball in the back of the net. He's done the right thing. Do you know what I mean? I just think I don't know what we're expecting a little bit of Mo. Maybe more goals, and I can argue that. Yeah, I think he's unlucky yesterday. I think he has a chance in the second half where he kind of should do better. I'm not sure. One gets blocked, and one gets blocked. It's a great block actually by the defender in the second half. But in the last 3-4 games, he's contributed in the game. Like again, if Ekatike just does a decent thing, it doesn't miss a header from 7 yards out. It just does a decent thing and just puts it in the back of the net. We all go, what a pass by Mo Salah. Unbelievable. Broke the game up and Liverpool are 1-0 up. Do you know what I mean? I just think we are starting to see Mo contributing a bit more. And let's be honest, he's always been a numbers player. He's not like the easy on the eye Mahrez or the Eden Hazard type of player. He's a numbers player. But numbers win your leagues and numbers win your trophies. So I've been super pleased with Mo as well. And it's an unbelievable cross for the free kick. For the corner. It's an unbelievable cross.
Yeah, I just on that now, I was kind of thinking yesterday, just looking back at like the stats of the game and stuff like that, because I obviously missed the last 10 minutes or so. We're kind of and me, that's why I was thinking of me. We're kind of still thinking of him as a 30-goal a season striker, but if we think of him as a 15-goal a season striker instead in all competitions, he's actually doing quite okay. He's doing the pattern of a 15-goal a season in all competitions striker, because he's what? What is he? 32?
No, he's 33. He's 34 this year, I think.
Oh, 34. Yeah, you know, I mean, like if you had Alan Shearer scoring 15 goals a season at 34, you're going, that's a bloody good player to have in the squad. You know,
there's a part of this conversation where Liverpool have planned for this a little bit, where Ekatike have signed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they have planned that someone else is going to score a couple of goals here. Do you know what I mean? And I think Liverpool have kind of not planned for such a decline as so say. I don't think they've planned for Liverpool to be this bad, so they haven't planned for that. But I just think they've planned a plan to share the load. What I'm getting at is that he's unlucky with Egypt. He goes, of course, and he gets to the semis and all this kind of stuff. And I just think he is now starting to get his numbers back and get his assists back and get us where we want him to be. And he'll take loads from that. I've seen him share his post on Instagram about like I think he's equaled
Steven
Gerrard's assists for the club.
Yeah.
Most going to be the club 8 years. Steven Gerrard's whole career was at Liverpool, basically. His whole career was at Liverpool. He's only got the same assists as him. He's a joke. He's literally a joke of a football player, and I just don't think he gets the full credit. And I get it. I think the fall off of Mo Salah, what people have been kind of saying, and like he's not playing well, and I get that. If Liverpool were top of the league and Ekatike was on 19 and Isak was on 15 and Mo Salah was on 6, would anyone be that last? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Brian, I just want to show, like, because we talk about our distaste for the 4-2-3-1. I still have a distaste for the 4-2-3-1, and we clearly play the 4-2-3-1. But look, in terms of the passing maps there, that's kind of one of the most balanced ones we've had in a long while, where you can see, like, even the fullbacks are connecting on the left side. Like Gakpo and fullbacks is just not a thing. It just isn't a thing. but it was yesterday, and it speaks to what Cosy was saying about Gakpo having a good, certainly a good first half. And it's definitely our class, South Asian Scouser, but
I think that's a great point, Matt. Sorry, that you just brought up here about the Robertson Gakpo thing. Robertson wouldn't stand for it. He wouldn't stand for it if you went passing to him. He's going to look and go, they're not going to keep it. He wouldn't stand for it. He'll bomb up a couple of times, he'll look at Gakpo go, and the next one thing, you best give it to me. Because he has that respect in the squad, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He has that, he's literally the vice captain. So, and by the way, I thought he was great yesterday. I thought he was really, really good, Robo, yesterday. And it was lovely to see him as well.
But Brian, in terms of that, we both dislike the 4-2-3-1, but it certainly looked a lot more balanced than it has done, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that also that goes with, obviously the biggest fault right there on that 4-2-3-1 right there, that scene right there is the left-hand side. The left-hand side right there has been weak right there throughout the entire season. And seeing that right there, like what Kazi was saying on there right there, Robertson's demanding the ball right there because he actually has that clout to demand the ball right there to go through there. Kirkes doesn't have that demand right there too, and that's why you go through and see a lot of the problems right there on the left-hand side is that it's just the amount of respect that's been carried right there. And I mean, and I think you see a little bit difference when they put Verts out on the left-hand side versus seeing right there Cody Gakpo on the left-hand side with Kirkes. And I think it's all about communication too with there. And also one of the things that you're looking at too there that's is interesting is looking at McAllister's positioning right there where he's more central base right there than actually on that left-hand side. So it's a little bit of a change right there through there. So I think the positioning is it has a lot to do with this. But again, I don't like the 4-2-3-1. I think that I'm like you, Macka. I'm not a big possession-based football fan right there. I think that I'm more or less a person right there who wants to play more direct. And I think that we have a lot of times where this season we failed to play direct. And I think that we tried to go back pass and then, and try to go do sideway passes versus actually go there moving the ball. And I think that one thing I did see right there was different right there in that second half and I think this is also coming on what we talked about with Verts, is that Verts is actually going there and actually taking control of matches a little bit more and actually driving the ball a little bit more versus going there, he's getting the connections where he wasn't the beginning part of the season, getting those connections together. And I think that goes along lines right there with Verts having a good communication with Ikiteke, also having a good communication with Curtis Jones. I mean, that they've actually been able to meld together and actually play and actually have a little bit more chemistry. And I think you're seeing these things that go through there. It's promising right there. But again, right there, I said this a couple weeks ago that we had promising things, and then we're back on our roller coaster ride that we've been on and all that. So, if we have to go in there and actually have to use this right there, we have to actually go there and use this to our advantage and build off of this right there. If not right there, this is just a for naught match again.
Susie, I'm saying this one for you because it's all stats. But this is our expected goals count, like 2.63 to 0.63. But you can see in the red side on the right hand side, the amount of shots we had in and around the box. The bigger the circle, the more it's potentially supposed to be a goal, which is the whole XPG thing. But we're starting to take more shots from outside of the box, which we didn't really do an awful lot of. And even though they're not very high, they're not high percentage shots, what they do is they tend to keep defenses honest because they have to send players out. Because you don't want to be the player that, as we saw Virgil van Dijk earlier this season, you don't want to be the player that doesn't step out and then somebody rips a bloody worldie into your top corner. We're starting to get a little bit more pragmatic. Even up to the last 20 minutes of the City game, we were a little bit more pragmatic about things. And we discussed a lot last year about, and this is probably why on this Thursday show especially, we've been so disappointed with Slaw. And I was thinking about this the other day because he's saying during games last year, he makes great changes in the second half, but maybe get it right in the first half before the game starts in the first place. But he hasn't been doing that this year. There hasn't been an awful lot of pragmatism. But yesterday's game was all that, wasn't it? It wasn't about the flash. It was about get the job done first, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think, even go back to Verts, He's putting some good assists in at the beginning of the season. We just didn't have any fucker that can finish the ball, finish it off. I think if they could finish it off, we'll see. Virtus's numbers will be a lot higher than what they were. Obviously, he's muscled out a bit. I mean, Ekatike, I love that kid, but some of his finishing is dire. And if he can actually practice heading the ball, we might be able to win a few more games, and Salah will be a lot higher as well. But yeah, it's I don't know. We're slot. It's a different slot we've seen this season compared to last season. All the credit that we gave him last season in terms of being able to change 6 times in a game until we actually get the result that we want. All of that's gone, and the worrying thing about him is that he's just openly admitting, I don't like to rotate players, but you're in the most intense league in the world. Not even being in the semi-final of a Champions League is a disappointment for this club, and not winning a domestic club, a trophy with all that is disappointing. So you have to rotate players, and you can't just save these bunch of players for domestic cups when they've had no game time. And still, I mean, Discord, it just really not wanting to play Rio. What are you saving him from? I really don't know what we're saving him from. We're not saving him from being injured because he's getting no game time. Is he the savior for the season? No, but I mean, we give him some game time, give him some practice. Now we're expecting him to, if he doesn't perform against Brighton, then all the doubters are going to say, well, see, he hasn't performed against Brighton. So it's going to come out and say, well, give him a chance. He didn't perform against Brighton. But no, he needs more game time. That's the only way you're going to get better. It's going back to what you're saying. I mean, it looks like obviously, we're taking more shots, and the statistics or whatever, as much as I hate them, they're showing that we're taking more shots, but that's got to be finished, and they've got to land at the right person's foot.
I find this tough, me, because as you know, I've kind of had my doubts even last year when we were playing well. I always felt like there was a few reasons why. Number one, I felt like we were in games too long, and we wouldn't kill teams, and I felt like that would always come back to bite us on the arse eventually. And then number two, I always felt like we were getting turned around too quick. So when I was watching them, there was a lot of games last season that Liverpool 2-0, which is fine. It's a great win. But in those games, I always felt like the opposition were having moments before we were getting a second. They were having like a good spell of tens. And I was thinking, eventually that's going to bite you on the arse or go 1-1. And then what you do? Liverpool score late against West Ham at home. Van Dijk scores a late one. If it happens, we get bit on the season, don't we? We get bit on the arse at like the 88th minute. And then Van Dijk goes down the other end and scores a corner. And so everything's great and forgotten about. That's what always my doubts have been. The problem is with being pragmatic in certain instances, especially when you got a lead. You still got to carry a threat going the other way. Liverpool have no threat. So what's been happening this season when we've been getting a lead or losing the games late on in that? You're not carrying.
Just be careful with those coughs there, because we all know what happens if you cough too hard.
But when Liverpool have been conceding all these goals, lads, there's no threat going the other way. So the defence can push up 15 yards and go, you can't punish us. There's no pace. You haven't got a Diaz to bring off the bench to kill us. Yeah. You haven't got a Jota who's really smart and really clever with the ball. You haven't got a Núñez who's just going to go wild and push me 15 yards that way. Do you know what I mean? So I can step up. And that's where Liverpool have been getting swallowed all season. Now, going back to Sergi's went about with Rio, and that's where my frustrations come in sometimes, because he's the only one without right pace. And by the way, he's not even that quick. He's not even that quick. I just think he's very technically very good. But what a Rio can do, because he has quick feet, he might win you a foul 15 yards from the goal. You know what I mean? From outside the area, and you have a free kick, and then you can all kill it. And Liverpool still win games 1-0 and 2-0. That's where I've been struggling a little bit. So, for example, Leeds game away is a great example. You're 2-0 up, cruising the game, you get it back to 3-2. You stop carrying a threat going the other way. And Leeds just swallow you. Leeds fancied it and swallow you. But the problem is with Liverpool this season, and again, it will always come down to that. If you don't carry a threat going the other way, Liverpool will not win games comfortably. They're just not going to win games in a comfortable manner. That's why I think against Newcastle, the Vert goal is so important. He scores in an unbelievable time. Liverpool are 2-1 in the game. Ekatiké's missed a sitter to make the hat-trick in the second half. And then Vert scores like the 65th minute. Everyone can just take a big deep breath. If Vert is the post and Liverpool are going 2-1 in the 80th minute, I don't think Liverpool win that game. But by the way, because they just bring off Harvey Barnes and bring on Walter Mardy and bring on Jacob Murphy or whatever it was, and they all go, fuck me, and they shit themselves. So I just think now going for Liverpool have won 3 and 4. That's what's happened here, by the way. Yeah. I know we were all down to Liverpool City, but pissed off, I was just so angry for the City game. I was literally as angry as I've been all season because it felt like we scored 10 goals in 2 games. And then you went to City in the first half and played like that. And you were shite and give City all the ball. City should have scored in the first minute of the game. People forget that. City battered us. Liverpool played well for 20 minutes and everyone goes, we deserve the point. Are you mad? The games are for 90 minutes. I feel like sometimes, like us as fans, do the Men in Black pen, we just forget first halves and just go dink at first half. Then the game kicks off and you go, fucking hell, Liverpool have been great. It's like, no. The game's 90, lads. It's not 45s or 20s. So what I'm getting at is, lads, is that Liverpool can do well and get in the top 5, which is going to be hard. I still think it's really difficult for Liverpool to finish in the top 5 because of the depth we've got. I just think you've got to get a way to get a threat on the pitch. Whether that's Ekatike and Isak rotating when Isak comes back, because I believe Isak's back mid-March. If Liverpool can just kind of stay where they're at right now in mid-March, in that touching distance mode, and then Isak comes back and you never know. Because you might walk into games doing Ekatike left wing and Isak up front. And then he has a sub in Gakpo. Whether you rate him or not, he has a professional sub. Do you know what I mean? And then you never know what could happen. So, but what I'm getting at is, sorry, I know kind of rambled a bit here on a little soapbox, but I've been thinking about it a bit. If you don't carry a threat going the other way, teams aren't scared of you, and they aren't going to be afraid.
Now, just for clarification, when I say pragmatic, I don't mean like sitting back and absorbing. I mean pragmatic in the sense that we're getting the ball forward in as least amount of passes as we need, rather than let's have 27 passes and it goes back to, that kind of pragmatism.
But I also think like the players, like when you brought up that map before, that's what I need, Gravenberch and McAllister. When you both can't run and you're both struggling for fitness, just stay fucking close to each other. Yeah. Don't let one roll up 40 yards and you're left-standed on an island. Just stay tight-knit and go, please, lad, not today. And he looks at you, trust me, McAllister's probably looking at Gravenberch going, please, lad, not today. Like, stay there for me, please. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's okay. But then you've got to trust Vert to get on the ball. Ekatike is really good. He's quite close to Gakpo. That gives Salah space to run into. Salah needs space. Salah plays his best footy with Firmino when he's dropping deep, and then Salah can go in his space. So I'm just like, again, with Liverpool have been bang unlucky all season, and but both things can be true. I always think this: both things can be true. Liverpool have been unlucky, but they've also been shit. Yeah, and I'll tell you why they've been unlucky. Because the next game in the league is Nottingham Forest. They're probably going to have a new manager bounce. You've got to go away to Forest, and it's like the last new manager bounce when we played Forest, he whacked us 3-0 at home. Do you know what I mean? So now you just. Sometimes that can happen. It's hard lines now, isn't it? It's hard lines. I just think that what I was so pleased with yesterday, lads, is that they weren't scared to do the hard work, the graft to go to Sunderland and win a game, because it is graft. No one's won there, and then the weather, and then the time, and all this. It's just fucking. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's now. I don't want to say we turned the corner because it's just a big myth. We're not going to turn a corner. Liverpool are going to win 2, lose 1. Draw 2, draw 3 on the bounce, they might win 3. That's what it's going to be all season. If you expect Liverpool to go out and win 6 on the bounce when they've only won 7 in 21, forget about it. It's not going to happen. But for Liverpool to finish in the top 5, gents, notoriously, they probably need to win 8 out of the last 11. Or 8 out of the last 12 to get enough points mathematically to do it. We'll see.
Now, before we segue into the next one, I'm not going to answer this question or ask you because that's a bit controversial. What I'm going to ask is, if we can maintain that level as it says, graft, just getting in there and working hard first. When I played and coached, it was always the first thing you do is outwork the other team. After that, everything else comes after that. If we can continue that level of performance of actually looking like they want to, and then the results be what they are. You know, you get as I think Ozzy's right. It's got to be peaks and valleys rather than a straight line out of all of this. Slot should really get at least the start of next season, shouldn't he?
No,
where we are. No.
No. And I'll tell you why it's a no. I don't know what we do with Brendan Rodgers. We're just going to sack him in October. When the managers are going to be available anyway in the summer, they're available. It's not like Jurgen Klopp falls on their lap. He literally falls. So,
yeah.
But Mark, the argument is, Mark, do you want a new manager? It's not. I want Liverpool to win the next game.
No.
I want Liverpool to win 40 matches. It doesn't matter who's in charge. I don't care who is in charge. Win every game till now to the end of the season, and then we'll have a little chat in the summer when we review it.
You don't care who's in charge unless Roy Hodgson comes back out of retirement. I'm
telling you. I'll take Alex Ferguson right now if he won me the Champions League. But I mean, what I'm getting, but that's the point, though, Mac. I don't think we all care who's the manager. We just fucking
that's what people don't get about us.
And that's why. What he annoyed me a little bit, the manager. He's annoyed me a lot. But in the roundtable interview, when he goes, "Well, playing good football is better than winning trophies." Now, that's what he says, but I don't know if you've watched it.
I didn't right there. I'm already all right just hearing that shit.
And honestly, and he says this, and I think to myself, well, first of all, you don't know who Liverpool Football Club are. So this argument of playing good footy, I've watched Gerard Houllier and Rafa Benitez footy teams. Trust me, they were in Brazil 1970. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean? They weren't fucking Pep Guardiola's prime Barca. Do you know what I mean? They dug in with 4 centre-halves playing in defence and won games. The argument is, don't Mark, for me on this conversation, do you want a new manager? It's not the question. The question is, you're halfway through a rebuild. You've got to spend another 500 million on 6-7 players in the summer. Do you trust him to get the best out of them? That's the only question that needs to be asked in the boardroom, whether he's the right man or not. And I said this point on Monday, and I'll say it again. There's a difference between wartime generals and peacetime generals.
Yes,
I think he's a peacetime general. It doesn't mean he's a bad manager in terms of that. You could go to a Barcelona and do that what Hansi Flick's doing, or go to a Bayern Munich and win loads of trophies and do what like a Jupp Heynckes did,
or Vincent Kompany.
Do you know what I'm saying? But even still, go to those teams and compete and look amazing. You go, that's not an unbelievable manager. He's a peacetime manager. This is war. Liverpool are at war. This is it. Like, we are fighting for our life to get back into the Champions League. And what we've seen yesterday, go back to the old thing on performance, that's a fight.
Yeah.
That's lads on the pitch who are fighting and grafting as hard as they possibly can to win a footy match. That will get them over the line. And then we can review what happened in the summer. We can go, is losing 9-12 good enough? Is winning 7-21 good enough in the middle of the season? We can all have that chat. Yeah. But I just think right now he's the Liverpool manager right now, and I want Liverpool to be Brighton. So that means he's going to stay in the job. So fucking go out and be Brighton.
And then just before we move on to the next bit, somewhere in the world or in the universe or beyond the universe, Joe Royle is finally gone, yes, finally I've been respected for the Dogs of War. Finally.
I laugh at everybody like
they were dreadful times.
Oh, that side, you know, they adore that side. I've got a lot of toffees, of course. Well,
I will say this: if the Roy Evans side had as much fight as that Dogs of War side, he would have won everything. Yeah.
For people who don't know, so the Dogs of War comment, what Mac is saying, is based on the Everton team in the 90s who were pretty garbage, but they fought for everything. They finished in like the bottom 6.
In Duncan Ferguson's case, literally fought for everything.
Yeah, Their team was known, for people who don't know, I know because there's newer fans, for just fighting. They were called the Dogs of War because they would never go down. I think twice they were 2-0 down on the last day and won 3-2 to stay in the league. Like, it was
and Sagers and Wimbledon. The dodgiest save over a ball ever. I watched it live.
And I think it was Coventry. I think it is the Coventry as well. But but going back to the point of the Dogs of War, I think it's interesting. Liverpool don't win a derby in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Yeah. So you can be as shit as you like, but Liverpool did not win it. Could you have fathomed that now, that Liverpool wouldn't win a derby for 10 years? 10 years.
Yeah.
Gary McAllister won in 2001, our first one at Goodison in like 10 years, 11 years. So, again, there's something that you can love a football team. They might not be that good, but if they're dying for you on the pitch and they're doing everything that they possibly can, then we're all going to swallow it.
Okay. So, talking about managers and Dogs of War, there's these two are, comforting each other there.
You might be managing Spurs. Why not? Get them in. Get Dyson.
Sean Dyche definitely won it from the Dogs of War school, but Thomas Frank, not quite the pretty football boy. But nevertheless, it didn't work out at Spurs. I mean, none of these. Well, Thomas Frank isn't a shock, but the Sean Dyche one seems to be more the Forest the Forest owner more than because like I was listening to him yesterday. He has the best. He has the best win percentage of the last 5 Nottingham Forest managers, and they looked like they were getting out of it. Like
supposedly he went to his players, and the players have said we can't work with him, and we don't like his training methods.
I don't believe that.
That's what I'm saying. Supposedly, I think he
sacked him because you can feel West Ham, the owner, and he can feel West Ham over his head. I think if West Ham I've took 4 less points, he'll still be in a job. I just think he shit himself again. The manager's wild, and I actually, this is the thing though about managing Spurs, managing Chelsea and Forest. It doesn't do your reputation bad by getting sacked. So Dice is
going to jump somewhere.
Dice should put, you know what I mean? If West Ham
he's a Liverpool fan.
He's a Liverpool fan.
It's happening.
If West Ham go down, he probably gets West Ham job. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you'd expect him to bring them back up. Because that's what happened. Because it's Sean Dyche, and then even Thomas Frank. I think it's really hard lines on Thomas Frank. I really do. I know Spurs expect a certain style of football, and those kind of shite. Right? It's a load of garbage to Spurs way. I just think with the injuries he's had, I think he's been bang unlucky to lose Maddison and Kulusevski, and then Solanke for a long time. I know Solanke's just came back, but he has lost Solanke. He lost Basuma, I think, for a bit. Sergio Romero can't stay on the pitch.
Yeah,
I just think. So there's a lot of hard lines there. Do you know what I mean? When he goes,
he has to find Romero. It's not losing. He has to go find him.
And the whole Romero's wild because I actually think Romero's a really good defender. And he's just kind of exactly, Roger.
But Brian, what do you think of that? I mean, like I'm a big Thomas Frank fan, but if you look at it, Spurs have had Conte, they've had Jose Mourinho, even Maurizio Pochettino to an extent, Nuno Espirito Santos. You know, like, I mean, it just seems to be the ultimate. But I mean, you just need Dave Bassett to go around and piss on the 4 corner flags to break the hoodoo. But there's just something about that club, isn't there? And I think because he's hit the nail on the head, it's that stupid glory that, you know, the game's for the glory. It's the same thing as the good football quote. It's why I hate those quotes. It's about the glory of the game kind of thing, but it's not. It's about it's professional football. Win the football match first, then talk about how you played after it. That's why Liverpool won so many trophies in the 60s and the 70s, because it was about the winning first and then how well you played.
You know, I think I'm with what Kasi said. I think Frank's unlucky on this right here. I mean, it's really, I mean, for the amount of injuries that he had right there, and I think that he was trying to get a philosophy that came across on there. I think it was an unlucky break for him to lose that. I guess you can't blame Levy for this one right here because since Levy's gone, I mean, I don't know. I think Nottingham Forest is just a mess right there. I mean, it's just the ownership right there of them is just abysmal right there. I mean, I think that they should have. I mean, sacking Nuno Sante right there was probably like the worst move they made right there. That on there, I mean, that to me, I think that he actually had a way going forward with that club right there, and I think that club right there from last year was vying for a top 4 spot for a good portion of the season right there. I mean, to go down to basically. Probably going to be relegated. It's a crapshoot about them getting relegated right now. I mean, we were having a conversation about that at work right there about, you know, that it's all it takes is like 2 matches for West Ham to get a little bit together right there, and then Forest are sunk because I think they're just in a rot at the moment. But you know, I don't know who wants to manage Spurs. That's the problem right there. I think that their ultimate goal right there, I think that the Spurs supporters are there, is for Pochettino to leave the U.S. job and to come back and then manage them and then go look back on the glories that they had a couple years ago. And I think that's what their ultimate thing right there with Spurs, because Spurs, unfortunately, Spurs always are memory fans. I mean, they always think about what was great back then and stuff like that, you know, and it's never a forward thought process as far as their supporters go. So
how it was great in the 60s, by the way. It wasn't even the 70s and the 80s.
No, definitely not 70s, 80s.
I think if you're Spurs, just to do Marco Silva in the summer. I think Marco Silva's a great manager. I think he'd be great for him. He's had a contract in the summer. I know Glasner is, but Glasner doesn't play a certain type of footy. I just don't know if you can be arsed with him because he's a bit wild.
But the problem with Spurs, and I said this before, I don't think they have an identity. I don't think they know what they want to be.
There's no forward there.
In what way?
And it's
And
that's why they
oh,
don't
yeah.
attract. That's why they don't attract. They overpay for players that
Well, the
they
wages
think
they
are
don't.
headline players and whatever it is. But none of these players really. I think all the players that they get literally use Spurs as a stepping stone for a bigger move.
I always think
And
it's always those players that you've been Liverpool and City were linked with 3 years ago.
yeah, exactly.
And I can argue that because they are a level below.
Mhm.
I would argue, though, mate, that they could compete in terms of money, in terms of buying a player, but they don't want to make a transfer structure to pay the player. So, for example, they could bid 80, 90 million for a footy player, but they're not going to pay the wage to pay that lad. So,
But they still don't have that identity of like Liverpool. We have an identity of right. These are the types of players we want, regardless of whether you know.
I
But
think
what is the identity?
they want high pressing attacking footy. That's what Spurs are known for. Whether that's right or wrong, but that is their identity that their fans relate to, and that's what they want, and that's fine. And I that's why I think this is difficult. But they've sounded like 6 players who are all the same player. Like Xavi Simons, everyone's telling me he's unbelievable. You know, why is he Spurs? Like, if he was that
That's
good,
what I'm saying. No one wants. They get the leftovers.
they get like a lot of the damaged fruit. You get like a lot of damaged goods, a lot of spare parts. When you go, well, he'd be a nice little bit of business for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? But that's why when Solanke signed, and Solanke got to a half start before his injuries, I was like, that could be a really good bit of business. I just think with Spurs, lads, I think if Marco Silva went in there, I think it'd be unbelievable for them, you know. I really do think it'd be unbelievable. I look at the league now, Villa are 3rd, Brentford are 7th, Everton are 8th. It's not like, hey lads, fucking hell. It's not like, do you know, sometimes when the top 4, it was locked in for like 12 years, and it was just Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, United. And that was the top 4 when we, at least for 04 to 2012. It's not like that now. It's like a new team gets in all the time, a new team can push it and compete. So Spurs can just look and go, well, if you just get Kulusevski back on the pitch and a Maddison back on the pitch and sign a centre half who wants to play 90 minutes every game instead of getting sent off, and then we can all kind of go for and sign a keeper with hands because they're handy, literally. Like, get one of them in. And then before you know it, I just think Spurs have a lot of good players. I really do. I think they have great players all over the park. I think their squad's so underrated in terms of depth. I think they have more depth than Liverpool up front.
Probably, yeah.
Muani, Richarlison, Solanke, Kudus, Maddison. You know what I mean?
It just seems like it's a mashup of FIFA players that you're playing FIFA and I'm going to take him, I'm going to take him, and I take him. But there's no chemistry. There's nothing. Like, and that's probably because of so many like managerial changes and whatever. But it just feels like this. They're just like, remember the cartoon back in the 80s or 90s back in London called Raggy Dolls? That's exactly what fucking Raggy Dolls.
They like you and me, Raggy Dolls, Raggy Dolls.
That's what they are.
Made it perfect. You shut up. I'm singing a song. Children's ITV Monday afternoons. That's what I want.
There's an argument here, though.
But he was.
I just think Sergi for Spurs to go players, great stadium. I think Mark could be great for them. I really do. I think Spurs could be a sleeping giant in a weird one. I just think the fans had to get over themselves a little bit and kind of.
Yeah, that's another thing.
In terms of swallowing, like, this is going to be hard, you know, for us to get back there. It's going to be really hard. But the problem is, and I have this now, and this is a bigger thought I've had for a while with fucking footy matches and teams and mentality of fans. What last year did was really fuck fans. I'll tell you why. Liverpool win the league when it was unexpected. Crystal Palace win the FA Cup when it was unexpected. Newcastle win the League Cup and Spurs win the Europa League. So if you're at Everton, a Fulham, a Brentford, a Brighton, and you go,
if they can do it,
let's go. They can do it. Why can't we? Do you know what I mean? And I think that's a problem now. Now, what's happened was with Spurs, what's kind of killed Spurs is United. United finish a place above them, I believe, in the league.
Yeah.
You've been in the Europa League final. Okay. They went bang. From where they were last season.
Yeah.
Whether you like Hammering or not, they were sitting like 7th in the league. Even Hammering got sacked, right? They were still in the bottom half. That's a problem. Because it's not like Thomas Frank can't sell a story. Hey, lads, it's going to be a big jump, you know. If we jump 6-7 places to 10th or 11th, that'd be great. No, hang on. Man United in the top 4. That was a one-off season. Do you know what I mean? That's why I think that's also hard to sell what other clubs do. I just think for Spurs, mate, honestly, I think their squad's so underrated. I think they've got loads of boss little pieces. I like Bergvall as a player. I like Sarr. I think they're all top, like, on the precipice of being top players. I think if you get a manager like Marco Silva in there, mate, who plays good football, solid manager, I think Spurs could be a danger for anyone. I'll tell you right now, and you can laugh all you like, no foreign team will, like in the Champions League. I think Spurs at home, when they're sitting 16th, 17th, you see what happened in the Europa League last year?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not like if Spurs are safe, let's just say, lad, in middle of March, end of March, it could be a little tough draw for anyone in the Champions League.
So, in case of emergency, break Harry Redknapp glass is what you're saying.
Do you know what they're going to do? I think they'll do Robbie Keane back from that Fedoranka, so with someone he's managing.
Yeah, that might be an idea. Yeah. He's actually good. He's getting a good reputation as a coach.
You get the fans back on side. He comes in even as a stopgap for 6 months. He has an half decent thing, and then he probably gets the Wolves job. Because he was at Wolves as a kid.
Yeah.
He probably gets the Wolves job. And by the way, if we look back in 12 months and that's happened, then you'll go, fuck me, you're a genius. Oh, we'll see.
He was at my youth club as well when I was in Ireland.
Was he?
Yeah, he was there. He paid his transfer to Inter Milan paid for their all-weather pitch.
I love that.
I love stories like that.
Yeah, I love stories like that. But yeah, I think.
And he was behind it. Like he was like fully supportive of it. Like they're 1% of the transfer or whatever. South Asian Scouser says Pochettino back. Maybe that seems to be the rumor. But like if I was Pochettino, I wouldn't.
If I was Spurs, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
he didn't. Okay, yeah, he was okay at Chelsea. I've got to say that he was okay at Chelsea.
I think he's so overrated. He's a myth. He's the Argentinian freaking Brendan Rodgers. I don't hear anything else.
Well, tell me
he's a fucking myth. He is. It's just a myth. It's because he took Spurs to the Champions League final, and he had Harry Kane in his team and Son, and that's it. And that no one can give. He first season at PSG, he came second. How'd you come second in the fucking French league or PSG with Neymar, Messi, and freaking whoever else on that team?
I'm on board with that, but I think coming forward in a 2-horse race that he was the top horse in for most of the season.
That's another thing. He's a myth. He's a myth.
He has to win that league in 2015. He has to win.
Yeah, has to
win the league.
Instead of that, diddy ding, diddy dong, Claudio Ranieri does it.
One of the greatest sporting feats ever. I think it is the greatest sporting feats ever when I think about it.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching the win, even though we didn't really know Leicester becoming Leicester.
Jimmy Vardy scored one for like 40 yards out again.
Yeah, that was a good goal.
Oh, anyway, move on.
There you go. I was going to say it's room 4-3-3 time. Thankfully, we didn't get anything from Brian. Much for that. So Brian gets the pick for us, but room 4-3-3 because we haven't done it in a while. The lads get to pick a thing in football that they want banished to room 4-3-3 forever and ever and ever. But if we don't agree on it, they have to keep it forever and ever and ever. Brian, you've had plenty of time to think there. What would you like to put in room 4-3-3 that you haven't put in before?
Shoot. I'm going to go through. I'll go last. Since I didn't go through. I'll go give mine.
Let's go with Cosy then, because Cosy always has something he wants to put in room 4-3-3.
It's been going for like months anyway right there. So, yeah, go ahead, Cosy.
I think I've said this. I don't know if I put it in there before, but I think I've definitely mentioned on the podcast. I'm going to ban throw-ins.
Yeah, you didn't. No, you had that one before. We didn't agree with it.
Now, okay, then I'm bringing it back to the court table because of this season. Right? It's literally called football. Kick the ball back into play. Kick it back into play. Why are we throwing it? Kick it. Why is it like that an outfield player can't use their hands apart from when it goes out of play? Like, kick it back in. Am I the only one who thinks this? And
yes, because if you watch Gaelic football, all it will be long ball after long ball after long ball.
Have you seen football like that? Have you seen football? That's all you get.
Yeah, I love the long throws.
Listen, mate, I love that people have kind of like adapted the style, and like Brentford, a great example today. Brentford scored a goal off it today. Great example. A big long. Why does it take 35 seconds to take a throw in that?
That is a stupid thing. I think. Did you have the idea? Was it if you take more than a certain amount of seconds, it goes back in the other direction? Then was that you?
Yeah, you've got 10 seconds to throw the ball in. If your big fucking lazy ass centre half can't run the pitch in 10 seconds, he shouldn't be playing for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Honestly, you should be playing it. If your big fat ass centre half can't get up the field.
I mean, you think of it like the goalkeeper. It's 10 seconds. It's not 6
anymore. The thing, 8 seconds in his hand. He's only allowed to hold the ball for 8 seconds. But a throw in, they get a towel, polish the ball, like this for the fucking ball. Like, what are you doing? Get it gone. Like, just stop throwing altogether. It's a load of shit anyway. I just, honestly, I can't, like, and I'm not going to know what you're saying, it's entertaining and stuff like that. I've enjoyed Liverpool City so much that it was just two teams who weren't asked about set pieces and just let us play a game of football. And it was really nice to watch.
No, I do agree with that. I just I'm always very wary of taking the game away from its roots because throw-ins were there from the very beginning.
My last thing on this,
we're going to lose headers very soon if nobody understands that. We're going to lose headers very soon.
This was a thing years ago in the 90s, the long throws and that, right? Do you know how you combat long throws and corners for all the new fans, right? You just leave three men up on a corner.
Yeah.
Because what stopped it was called counter-attacking football. Because players couldn't throw every single person. What no one has clicked on in this 21st century, hey, Joe, if we just leave Ekatike, Salah, and someone else who's Papa Boss of footy far up, they're going to leave 4 men back, 5 men back, and then my keeper just comes and collects it.
No.
We haven't worked that out yet. They haven't clicked on these.
That's what Klopp did. That's what Klopp did with Salah and
Joe, the smartest men in the room, the little geeks with the glasses. Ooh, so if you do this and you move the ball, it's an extra 2% of a gain. No, just leave men up there. Do that. Like, oh my God, Brentford, the big long throw against us. Yeah, just leave it up there. It's sad. Let your keeper come and punch the ball. Punch it. If your keeper doesn't come off his line and punch the ball, sell your goalkeeper. Anyway, throw-ins.
No, you got to keep them.
Lads, back me up here. Please. Kick the ball into play.
I don't know. I've never known the game without throw-ins. What I do hate about throw-ins is the fucking arseholes that do this somersault, bouncing off the ball, off the ground, and then what the hell is that about? What is that?
So you know when you don't need to see that again. You know what you need to do? You need to put it in room 433 and back your lad.
Suck the player.
I'm gonna say though, if we got rid of throw-ins, if they were ever a thing, we would never get Ronnie Whelan's fantastic shinned volley in 1988 in the European Championships.
But man, you can have all your history. You can have all your nice little history in that.
But I want to see another one.
Why?
I want to see Joe Gomez from a Kirkes shinning one into the top corner for his only goal for Liverpool.
Anyway, I believe in kicking a football. There we are.
Today, you're not getting. Oh, hang on. I don't agree with it. So, Brian and Suzie, are we letting them have it in there? You have to practice.
There's been too many changes in this game. We don't need that. That'll be a huge change.
Just to Cosby's point there, Chelsea did that in the game against Arsenal. 3 players up at halfway.
Yeah, it's not difficult, is it?
It is not difficult. Or put a player in front of the throw-in player, like we used to do.
Yeah. Oh no, they got to stand the yardage because he complains and he's got to get his towel out and he's got to get his match out.
Band towels. There you go. Band towels.
Band towels.
What's your 4-3-3 submission?
Oh God, I don't even know.
Say Arsenal again.
Arsenal. I don't know. The stats. There's a fucking do my head in.
You have to keep stats. There's none of this.
No. There's certain stats we do not need. Right, and again, like going to this big debate about freaking Gakpo. Like,
what you really mean to say is you want Gakpo in room 4-3-3.
Yeah, absolutely. No, press conferences, definitely. Arne Slot doing press conferences. He makes that look like a fucking joke. He's literally everything that comes out of his mouth is just like you just want to slap him in the head. So just shut up. Like, who cares? Like, and the argument for his bullshit is, well, you want him to be honest. No, I don't. I want him to protect our players. That's his job, to protect our players. Klopp did it all the time. He protected our players. No matter, I don't care what goes on behind closed doors. You can rip into the player. You can tell the player his shit. As fans, that's not what we want to see. We want to see our manager come out, support the players, take accountability for our team being shit. Take accountability for whether it's his fault or not. Whether the players are completely doing the opposite of what you're saying. Your job as a manager is to protect the players and to make our club look good in our press conferences. I don't care about the honesty part of it. We don't need that.
I agree with everything you just said, by the way. Because I had this thought, but will Liverpool have press officers?
What the fuck are they doing?
Today, just, hey, today, let's not call Calvin Ramsey shit anymore. it just makes it easier for us. Just makes it easy. Remember the press officer behind Mo Salah when Mo Salah does an interview? He's like,
what the fuck?
Tony Barrett. By the way, Tony Barrett was a Liverpool Echo and wrote books. He was a reporter. He's brilliant, but now he works for the club. He's the press officer. So he's for people who don't know, when Sloss doing his press conference, he'll be sitting there next to him. Yeah, he must be sitting there going, like, just give me one. Just give us one. I'm with him. I think we should cut down on press conferences. It's fucking fast. 6-7 times a week.
It used to be just once a week.
Yeah.
Like way back. It
now
used
it's
to be
before
like,
and after every single game. I'm not interested.
I know they're trying to do the half time. They're trying to.
I hate that shit.
Like,
that's an American thing, innit? That's an American thing. I just think that 6 press conferences is too much. I don't want it airing that much. I'd rather you just come out for 5 minutes, not even when someone's there, just tell us who's injured and who's not, and go.
Yeah, did you ever see footage of like the 1980s and 1970s press conferences with Bob Paisley? They literally he just brings them into a room. They ask 3 questions and then see you lads.
He used to stand outside the boot room and it was Jim Evans and then he'll go, what do you want to know? Basically, and he'll go, how you playing? He goes, yeah, we're top of the league with boss. It's like most standard garbage ever. But no, I'm with you. At least cut them down to once a week or twice a week. I think. I think we're all getting ourselves in too much trouble. So, yeah, I'm with you there, Sergey. I back you because I'm a friend. So.
Brian, what do you think?
I'm with there. Make that shit a PowerPoint and just go there and show it right there and then move on.
Just give flyers out.
Just go there, just put like a whole fucking PowerPoint, put hyperlinks wherever you just give it out to everybody and let everybody look at it right there and then move on. Then you don't have to hear him.
Just give them the match program.
Just made on paint when it's like the little tail writing. Just made on Microsoft Word.
It can be banners. It can be banners going across.
Word art, 3D word art.
Yeah, I mean, hey, at least I don't have to go there and hear about it. At least I don't have to hear him over talk.
Just no words. Just a PowerPoint presentation. No words. You click a slide. It's just Calvin Ramsey's face on a dartboard.
It's Rio Ingamo with a circle and a line.
Him changing Jack Bob's diaper.
That's excellent. No.
Just slot with Mighty Red's head on. Just slot. That's just Mighty Red.
So we're all agreeing. We're all agreeing. Press conferences in 2, 4, 3, 3. Well done, Suzy. Brian, for the last one, what have you got?
Okay, so something I saw in this match the last time right there, the lack of referees put yellow cards on players fucking diving right there. I mean, there is so much simulation right now going in the league right there, which I thought this was supposed to get corrected like 2 seasons ago right there. We're going to start throwing yellow cards on simulation. I watched right there in so many matches right there. It's rampant still again. I mean, I thought this was a squash all this right there, but yet we're still coming there and seeing players dive and players not get yellow cards for the in that situation. So that's what I want right there. Actually, to go there and start fucking carding people. Start getting rid of this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I always used to think, number one, I think referees should do at least one level of the coaching courses so they can understand tactics a bit better. But learn about injuries because players don't do certain, like I broke a rib, I wasn't rolling around on the floor, I was literally hoping that there would be no stoppage to the Earth's axis rotation, otherwise I would be in even more dire pain. Like we saw with Endo the other day when he gets injured, he just literally there was no move in that kid. So if you roll over, card. I think that should be fair enough, isn't it?
That's why I was quite pleased with the Kusanov thing that happened against Liverpool when clearly he was like, you know what I mean? Kusanov really got a big bump on the old fucking face from Donnarumma, and he just subbed him. It wasn't your decision, you're getting subbed. I'm kind of with you, but a little bit. I just think there's a part of this where it's difficult to say what's simulation and what's taking advantage. Like it's a slight touch and you'll take a fall. Simulation to me is when there's no touch at all and they dive.
Yeah.
That's simulation to me.
But even hip checks, I mean, sorry, even a hip check right there and a player goes over. I mean, we're getting to a point now where we're just having the outside of a boot right there touching a player. The player goes over right there, and it's like looking for penalties. And I mean, through there. I mean that kind of stuff.
For me, the flip side of that is that how many times have you told Hugo or some of our other players that go down? Like if you go down here, it's a blatant penalty.
And that's the thing, because we see Mo do this whole time. Mo will stay up right there the whole time, right there, and you can even hear the announcer say, "Well, if he went down, they probably would have called a penalty." It's like, okay, but it's still a fucking foul.
When he gets it, he doesn't get it anyway. When he goes down, he doesn't get it anyway.
Yeah,
True.
But yeah, no, I'm probably with you, mate. I think the arguments of simulation, I do think we are taking physicality out of the game. I really do, and that's why, when you see like a big crunching tackle now, you're getting t-shirts made of Conor Bradley tackling Mbappe, and you're like, fuck me, lad, it was just a standard tackle 15 years ago. It was just a thing that we seen. So yeah, it's a tough one. It really is. But I do want to mention, Sergio, because you just brought it up when you mentioned stats before. Because as me meant, my hatred of XG. It's the worst thing that's ever been invented in the history of football. I've just googled it. When Man City won 10-1 against Exeter, their supposed
XG was like
2.5. They won 10-1. 2.5. If that just knock that stat on the head and then just leave it to die.
Just to throw a fly in your ointment, that does the misunderstanding of XG is that it's 2 goals. But if you divide that, if you make that 225%, which is what it is, and divide by 10, they basically had an average of 10 really bad chances that went in. That's what it means.
Too much thinking for a football game. We're just here to watch 20
I'm lost now.
What did you just say? Man City won 10-1. Fucking hell, I battered them.
That's why I prefer shots on target, because you can't score goals without shots on target most of the time.
That's the only stat to judge if someone's kind of in a game.
That's the way I always did. I like the idea of XG for when you haven't seen a game. When you want to see how did that get me? I don't get to see most. I don't get to see Liverpool games because I'm working all the time.
Would you look at, like, if you didn't see a Liverpool game, you go, what was the XG? Or would you just look and go, fucking hell, Liverpool won? That's great. And then
but I'd go. I want to see. Like if we had like a low XG, let's say, and I want to see the game more to see where the disparity was. That kind of thing. But I'm talking about, because I'll always try and watch Liverpool, either what you call it, delayed highlights or whatever. Or the replay on Peacock. But if it's like Arsenal, like if I missed Arsenal Brentford today, I'd look at it and go, oh, okay, so that seemed like it was an even game. I think the stats were fairly even. You know what I mean? Like that's the only advantage to me. If I want to know how a game's going, I'm looking at the shots on target. That's the only way I look at it.
I wouldn't think about that at all. I'll just look at the possession shots on target and go, fuck me, oh yeah, there's this.
I never look at possession because it doesn't tell you anything at all.
But even the passes don't tell you anything. Because a completed pass can be just a 1 meter pass compared to like.
I like these stats.
Yeah. My argument is though with possession, Mark. If you have a team who's got 6% possession and they've got 15 shots and the other team's got 4, that tells me they dominated the game with that.
You have to add more to just possession.
And then shots on target to make adjustments of who's kind of
playing. There's people who say like, and it seemed to be Man United fans a lot. I'm really sorry, Man United fans, but I had been. We had 60% of the game, so we were obviously we're very, very good. And you're like,
Anslot's thinking that right now.
It was all in your half.
Anslot does that, so don't worry about it. Anslot, I honestly, he does the Men in Black on me every time I sing Washington.
That's why I hate that possession. That's why I hate that obsession with possession. It just means nothing.
Liverpool.
We've had the most possession in the whole league this season.
Honestly, Liverpool are shy for the game. Yeah. You'll press the button on me and look, I always watch the press conference and go, fuck me, we're boss.
Yeah, we're deadly.
Oh my God. We're going to win the World Cup. We're going to win Eurovision. We're going to win the Super Bowl.
No. There's too much politics in Eurovision, Cosy. There's too much politics.
Anyway.
But Brian, I think no yellow cards for simulation. I think that needs to go into room 4-3-3. We need some yellow cards and bring some physicality back to the game.
Yes.
So let's move on then, and let's talk about the on Saturday, which is a late game. It's always like a Monday evening game on a Saturday. Liverpool against Brighton in the FA Cup. I love the FA Cup. I don't care what anybody says about not here, like just in the general scheme of things. It's a competition that we've done quite well in. It's a competition that Shanks put a lot of value in 1965. It was always like, we won the league in 64, but everybody was saying you haven't won the cup yet, so you're not a good team. That's how valuable that competition was at the start of Liverpool's domination. So it's always been the 74 final is just worth watching, just for how good football should be played. Like the Kevin Keegan goal at the end with like something like 20 passes. It's so good. Like that's real good football. But they earned the right to do that at that point. But what is our feeling with this? I don't, when we're doing well, we've tended to look at the cup games as, especially if there's a bigger game coming up behind it, throw in a few of the kids. We want to win the league or we want to win the Champions League. But the way this season's gone, Cosy, Brian, and Suzy, we really need to make a good push to win this competition, don't we? Like a proper one. Look,
but what players do we use?
I will judge Aaron Scott on this lineup on Saturday.
But I think we've got such a skeleton squad. Like, who do we use? It's like,
but he's backed himself into that. So says he.
I mean, he has definitely. But I mean, he's in a no-win situation. I mean, it's if he plays a strong team, someone gets injured, everyone will be like, "Well, what the fuck are you doing? It's the FA Cup, and you got those that are injured."
Sorry, says he. I don't think it will be like that. I think the fans want this season because of the way you're in the league. I think the manager needs this. I think he can sit there and go, this in the summer, we were shite all season, but I've still delivered a major trophy. Or like, we're still with fifth and we won the FA Cup. If you offer me fifth in the FA Cup now, I'll take it. Would you? Would you take that?
I would take that, but I just want to say, though, like, it doesn't wind me up, but like a player can get injured at any point. Do you know what I mean? Like regretting playing a player in a competition you want to win because they got injured in that competition. It forgets the fact that like Michael Stensgaard folded an iron board and he was out for half a season in 1990. You know what I mean? The player can get injured at any point. That's the risk and reward. Do you know what I mean? That is what being a manager.
I think it's a massive game of footy for them. I think it's huge. Because I just think there's teams that have already been knocked out in the last round, like United and things like that, where Liverpool have a great chance of winning. I think I'm just going to check now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Villa are playing Newcastle. One of them are going out, of course. And then I looked at someone else before he was kind of interested.
Right, don't they?
Sorry, Leeds are going to Birmingham.
Yeah,
because the reason why I'm saying Leeds for people who like don't know, I don't want to go to Ellen Road in a fifth round of the FA Cup. It just seems like hell on earth. So I'm just like, I think it's a massive game of footy, and I think Liverpool have to win this game. I really do. I think it's huge.
Brian, what's your thoughts?
The same thing. I think you have a week gap right there until Sunday. We don't play Forest until next Sunday. You have to play strong. You have to put a strong lineup in this. I mean, I'm with Kasi right there. I want to win silverware this year, and it's going to come from two spots. It's going to come from FA Cup or Champions League. So something has to happen right there. Because I think the league, we already know that's not happening right there. But I think that you have to come out there and have a strong side here. Could you have bring players in on the 60th minute right there? I mean, sure, but Szoboszlai definitely needs to go there and play this match right there. He already came there. That's like a definite.
Is he only banned from the Premier League?
No, he's
only one match.
One game. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm at the point right now with Gomez right there is I'm scared to play Gomez at the moment right there, but I think that you have to play Gomez. I think that Konate needs to, even in the form that Konate is on right now, I think that there's somewhere where he gets a little bit of time off the pitch. I think that because we saw this a couple seasons ago when we overplayed Konate, it caused problems right there toward the end right there. And I think that he needs to at least go there and have Gomez come in to do a sub on him at least in like the second half right there to get Konate time off the pitch.
Yeah.
Suzy, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely got to go big. I mean, I'm still in hope that I think we can come fourth, win the Champions League, and win the FA Cup. But that's me living in hope. But I still have faith. I think things with the players. I mean, he's got to play Rio. He's got to play Rio on Saturday.
He's at Rio.
You know. I think it's got to get a mixture of a good balance between strong players and covering the youngsters. I think Szoboszlai comes back. He's got a little break. I think obviously rest Macka because he's shown you can't play so many games in a row, and unfortunately Hugo as well. For some reason he can't get past 60 minutes without You know, his legs giving up. But it's a huge game. Is it at home or away?
Home.
Home.
No, yeah, you got to be huge.
I'm at the stage. I think I can probably name the 11 if I had to guess. But I think you do Ramsey right back. I think he does Gomez, Van Dijk. I think he does Kerkers. His
You think
midfield.
Marlon plays?
Yeah, I think he does Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Jones, Rio, Chiesa, Salah. And then he can have his Ekitike off the bench with this gap.
And first off the bench.
The last thing you want is a draw going in the last 10 minutes because you don't want to go to extra time.
No.
I don't think Chiesa plays.
I think he does Chiesa. I just think because Ekitike needs a break. I think Ekitike could do with 10 days. And then Chiesa, by the way, when I'm saying Chiesa gets a plays, Chiesa does an hour. And Ekitike does the last 30. And then if it goes to extra time, he can do another 30. I think that's how it works.
Gakpo in the middle.
I don't think Gakpo plays. I think he'll bring him off the bench now. I don't think Gakpo plays. I think because it's a week off. I think that's the other part. It's like 8 days off. I think if Liverpool playing on the Wednesday again, he might be a bit more cautious of getting them back on the pitch. But I think that'll probably be his 11. And I wouldn't mind seeing Mamardashvili in goal. Just to kind of look at him
again. So, Brian, do you have a score prediction?
I'm gonna say 2-1 us.
Suzy?
3-2 us.
I was thinking 3-2. I think it's going to be an end-to-end mad FA Cup game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Finucci special 3-1.
We'll take it.
I think we got. And Rio scores.
I'll take any win. Just no injuries, please.
Any win, no injuries. That's all we ask for.
No, that's what. So, Asian Scouser, and thank you for staying with us all night. So, the Asian Scouser, exciting 4-1 Liverpool win. I just want to see Rio score. Maybe Gomez. That'd be nice as well. But I think if I'm on a coffee tomorrow, I haven't heard any differently. But if you want to know for sure, then you should do this. Follow us on YouTube. Hit the like button, the subscribe, and the notification bell. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, formerly known as Twitter. Join the Discord channel as well. We are all off to beddy, boys, except for Cozzy, who's in a different time zone. So he practice his golf swing in his dreams. And we will be back next Thursday with more nonsense and Cozzy trying to put stats back into room 433 again. And Suzy trying to
throw-ins every week.
Throw-ins backwards next week.
Yeah.
But enjoy the game on Saturday. It's I get to watch it there because it's on so late, so that's fantastic. Day's work in a Liverpool game. That you could ask for more than that, but that's what I've got, so that's what we'll do. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one, and if you have pneumonia, go get it treated before you break your ribs. Have a good one.